Yesterday, July 13th, Sunday, former President Donald Trump speaking at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. A gunman with a long gun on a nearby rooftop shot at the president, struck him in the ear, also killed a spectator, critically wounded a couple others. We asked our good friend Ben Wallach, who's been on the show before, former Navy SEAL for about a decade, and then did about another decade of contracting with government agencies, private organizations, as well as with the CIA, protecting case officers overseas. Needless to say, more expertise in some of this conversation we're going to get into today than Jacob or I. Do you have the video queued up? I guess let's start with that, and then maybe we can get into a little bit. We'll talk about the Secret Service's response.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Did you hear that? Someone said, "What are we doing? What are we doing?"
Yeah. So his podium mic is still on. You hear a lot of that chattered at the Secret Service on the stage.
Move to the spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Up. Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Move it to the spare.
Is he Hawkeye?
Get ready. We ready? Down. Shooters down. Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move? Shooters down. We're good to move. We're clear. Let's move. We're clear. Come on.
Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we got to move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
And the epic thing he's about to do.
I know, joke. The fact he like. So many people would have ran and cowered. They crawled away.
Or just freeze and not even be able to process what's happening.
Yeah. He didn't seem that surprised.
No, it was almost like, I mean, not that he was expecting it, but like.
No, but I'm saying like he's under attack around the clock. Not that people are shooting at his head, but thankfully, but I mean, the guy's been impeached. They're trying to put him in prison.
He's getting in the SUV and he's still
waving. He actually stepped on the floorboard there, I think, for a second to get higher.
So he can give another.
Secret Service like, get down, give him another. Play this real quick. Ben, I want you to talk about
Play it from the beginning again.
No. Play what's about to happen.
Oh, this is as far as this video goes.
Oh, well, we're missing the fun stuff.
Oh, there's more?
I want to catch the Secret Service agent right there in front. I want to watch her.
Both those females are a soup sandwich.
I want to watch her holster her gun into her badge 7 times
That was the only one that I could actually find.
They were both total soup sandwich.
So while you're looking for that seemed to take a long time to get him out, to get him off the X. Like, if you're Secret Service, I understand it's like there needs to be a period of time where you're processing where's the threat and then making decisions from there. You can hear some of that conversation, but it almost seemed like the vehicle wasn't ready. It almost seemed like, I don't know, like, what do you make of that? What do you make? Like, just talk me through that.
Well, I mean, anytime that your Secret Service is going to set up a venue, like you are going to, the first thing you're going to do is look for positions of basically elevated positions where somebody could take a shot. I mean, that would be the first and foremost, where you're most vulnerable. The next would be egress routes. That's like on the top of the list. Like, if something goes down, how do we get this individual out? How do we have, 360 security around that individual as we're, getting them off the X? And it just, like you said, it seemed like it took a long time. You heard that one dude, the Secret Service dude, like, what are we doing? And it's like, they immediately should be on comms. And like, in my opinion, they should have not really allowed him to do the fist thing and make kind of a thing of it. Like, they should have grabbed him.
He was exposed at that point.
Yeah, they should have, because again, like, if that dude at 136 yards took that shot, like, there could be another dude. If they dropped the ball that bad,
Because just because they said shoot her down doesn't mean there's not a second one.
No. And they didn't see that dude. I mean, we'll talk about that, but they didn't see that dude at 136 yards away on a roof, on glass, like as you're in a sniper overwatch position. You're protecting
glass
the president.
what?
Like if you're in a sniper overwatch position, like protecting the president while he's speeching or giving a speech, you're constantly looking back and forth. Like you're not just staring at one area. You're processing the whole venue, any angle at which someone could take a shot at the president. But really they should have grabbed him and ripped him up, like physically grabbed him, pulled him up, got all around him, because I'm sure they have soft armor on and whatnot, and literally dragged him like forcefully into that SUV with it, and they should have been gone.
That's what I would have
Fast.
expected.
Do you think that they've just gotten lax? I mean, it's been since 1981 since Reagan was shot. So, I mean, do you think that they just didn't think it was going to happen?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, this is probably the first time that if there was a Secret Service guy that shot, probably the first time he's ever even shot at anybody.
Well,
I mean,
I'm 40.
because
It hasn't happened in my life, so none of these guys had it happen probably in their lives.
No. And the other thing about like Secret Service is it's not like they're drawing all guys with soft special operations backgrounds. Like they're just, most Secret Service people are career federal agents. They start off in some sort of federal job, and then they climb the totem pole and get in and eventually get up in the Secret Service. But, and I'm not saying there's probably not some Secret Service guys that have military background, maybe fought in GWAT like guys like in my era did, but it's probably unlikely. I can tell you those two chicks have zero combat experience ever. First of all, if I'm president, like, and someone's on my detail, like, I'm gonna make sure vet them a little better.
I wonder if now they're going to go to private security.
I would. I mean, like I said, like Secret Service people, it's like those case officers that I worked with overseas. They're not friggin' Jason Bourne. They do not have the experience that you would think that somebody would have in a position to protect the president. Right. And clearly, those females, show that.
Let's watch it.
Well, I think one of the reasons it's maybe obvious too is so there's a very evident size difference. Like if your job is to put your body between a threat and the president, then you should expect ideally that your body could cover the president, and credit to these gals. They did that. Especially that one up on stage was like, I mean, was right in front of him and in between him and I think,
Yeah, there she is.
like you can see her right in the front, which there's not enough body mass there to like to actually create
I'd want
enough
big
protection.
I want big dudes.
I want like
That's
a 6 foot
but,
seven,
but you know,
6'7" Randy.
this is the thing, and I'm not trying to put females down or anything, but like they have to hire, you know what I mean? They have to hire a certain amount of, this is part of the hiring process with some of these federal groups, like regardless of maybe they're not suited for that role or that particular job, they have to hire them because of gender, because of whatever it might be. And my thing is like, if it's the president of the United States, like hire the most proficient, if and have a selection process for that. And if a female passes all that, great.
Awesome.
But
Don't have a quota.
but hire somebody that's capable.
All right, so
to
what's
do the
happening
job.
here? What you were talking about?
So that gal to the left is what I wanted to watch. She's clearly like
Panicking.
overwhelmed. And look, I get it. I would too, but like she tries to holster her gun into her badge like 6 times and then gives up.
I mean,
Decides,
holstering.
I'll just-
Well, first of all, she's looking to holster her firearm, dude.
which is a weird decision, right?
If you're a shooter, you never need to look at where your holster is. That is a muscle memory thing that gun goes down to immediately. You're not having to look to holster your weapon.
Should she even have been though? Like in that?
No,
moment?
she shouldn't. It should have been out, at whatever position that they run, whether it's SEAL or high ready or whatever it might be. But she didn't need to holster it. Well, she's got it out there now over there, and she's just
somebody else.
sweeping everybody.
Yeah, that's someone else.
Sweeping.
Look at her. She's just pointing at everybody. Oh gosh.
So
What a train wreck.
What is sweeping
Oh,
for those who
jeez,
don't
yeah,
know?
she's sweeping.
Pointing.
She's not
everybody.
in a support position with your firearm. Like there's multiple different support positions, that you can run your firearm in where, so if you're not actively on a threat, pointing at somebody to shoot them, you're in a support position, whether it's high port, high ready, SEAL, low ready, low port, the index temple, like there's multiple different.
But she's like sweeping the crowd.
well, that's one of the
Yeah,
things.
she's just like this.
So like, look, one of the things I think that there's a responsibility of Secret Service as a law enforcement body is that you got to assume, given the job, that there's going to be crowds everywhere. You're going to be doing your job and responding to an incident where there's thousands of people. Like in this case, again, another contrast if we're talking about soft guys on a mission, or we're talking about even a SWAT or patrol responding to an incident. Ideally, they're going to be facing the threat, and there's not going to be thousands of people around, unless, again, like it is an event like this. Like we did have local police here, but Secret Service, that's got to be one of like in terms of weapons training, muzzle discipline has got to be top of the list, right?
Oh yeah, and you can tell from that she has 0.
Yeah.
And she's on the presidential detail.
Is it possible though? So here's what you had mentioned before we started in on this, that there's a whole bunch of people from the Secret Service that are not necessarily in like the security detail. Is it possible that some of these, hey, go on, Don.
Yeah, that aren't necessarily like tactical operators, that aren't operators.
Maybe some of these gals, I suppose it's possible that like this wasn't even their job, but
Do you think they could have been like just security, keeping people back?
Maybe,
and
and they
stuff
just
like that?
like.
But as close as she is to Trump's SUV, like you would think that she's part of the detail. They're still trying to serve, and they're still trying to do their job, but there's definitely the machine broke down for that venue.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip. If you want to see the full podcast, be sure to click on the link in the description. And if you feel like it, hit subscribe.